In this vocabulary building lesson, we're going to talk about solar-powered cars. What I'll do is I'll read a short paragraph to you, and then we'll review the vocabulary together. So let's get started. The Fredericks Company has come out with a new innovative car design that runs only on solar power. And environmentalists worldwide are rejoicing about the ingenious design that produces no harmful carbon emissions. For the last 20 years, the Fredericks Company has been the leading seller of commercial solar panels in the United States. However, in 2010, their research and development team decided to branch out and try implementing their solar panel technology in automobiles. It was a potentially risky business venture, but the research team has been so industrious that they finished the first prototype in just 3 years. They foresee releasing a model for mass production by this May. Alrighty, so let's review that vocabulary. The first word would be come out. Come out is a phrasal verb, meaning to introduce something or to debut something. A good example sentence would be, when will the new Batman movie come out? People use that all the time when it comes to when a movie, a play, or anything is going to debut for the very first time. So repeat after me. Come out. Come out. Now try to use come out in a sentence of your own. Good. So our next word would be innovative. Innovative is an adjective, meaning to be new, to never be done before, to be very fresh. So a good example sentence for that one would be, she was promoted at work for her innovative ideas. So repeat after me, innovative. Innovative. Now try to use innovative in a sentence of your own. Good. Next word is solar. Now solar is an adjective that is related to the sun. So meaning anything that's based off of the sun. So a good example would be, there is a solar eclipse twice a year. Now what a solar eclipse is, that is in the sky when the moon and the sun cross paths and it makes a weird change in the light in the atmosphere. So repeat after me. Solar. Solar. And try to use solar in a sentence. Now, think of this. If solar is the adjective for the sun, what is the adjective for the moon? Have you heard of it before? It would be lunar. So we have solar eclipse for an eclipse of the sun, and we have lunar eclipse for an eclipse of the moon. And naturally we have the solar panels like I mentioned. So remember those words, okay? Let's move on. Our next word would be environmentalists. Environmentalist is a noun, meaning a person who cares about nature and the well-being of the environment. So a good example sentence would be, many environmentalists are working to reverse global warming. So repeat after me. Environmentalists. Environmentalists. All right, now you try to use environmentalists in a sentence. Our next word is ingenious. Now, ingenious is an adjective meaning very smart, like a genius. A good example sentence would be, he had the ingenious idea that solved all of our problems. So repeat after me. Ingenious. Ingenious. Now try to use ingenious in a sentence. Good. So if ingenious means smart, savvy, could you think of what is an antonym for ingenious? All right, that would be like dumb, stupid, along those lines. Okay? Our next word would be emissions. Now, emissions is a noun meaning the dust, smoke, or any particles that are released by machinery or a factory. So a good example sentence would be, the factory was closed because it released harmful emissions into the city. So repeat after me. Emissions. Emissions. Good. Now try to use emissions in a sentence of your own. Good. Moving on, our next word would be commercial. So commercial in this paragraph that we read was used as an adjective. Now when it's used as an adjective, it means it's related to business or businesses. So a good example sentence for commercial would be, he sells both commercial and residential real estate. So commercial real estate means that you're selling businesses. And residential real estate means that you're selling houses. Okay? Now, commercial also has a noun form. And when you say, when you're using commercial as a noun, that means that you're watching an advertisement. So usually it would be a commercial on TV, a TV commercial or advertisement. So make sure that you are able to kind of listen for the differences in those two words. Remember, commercial as an adjective means businesses, and commercial as a noun means advertisement. All right, now our next word means to branch out. Branch out is another phrasal verb. It means to expand or to try something new. All right, so a good example sentence of to branch out would be, she normally acts in movies, but this year she has decided to branch out and do a play. So repeat after me, branch out. Branch out. Now, try to use branch out in a sentence of your own. Good. Our next word is implement. Implement is a verb meaning to finish, to fulfill, or to carry out. An example would be, he failed to implement the new project successfully. So repeat after me, implement. Implement. Okay, now try to use implement in a sentence of your own. Good. All right, our next word is venture. Venture is a noun, which means a risky undertaking or a business enterprise that hopes to make a profit. So an example would be, he's a venture capitalist. And what that means is he's a type of investor that invests in somewhat risky stocks and bonds and in the hopes of making a big profit. So venture can be used mostly in business ventures, but it can also be used if you're going on a hike up Mount Everest, or any more adventurous mountain climbing, rock climbing, things like that. So repeat after me. Venture, venture. And try to use venture in a sentence of your own. Go ahead. All right. Our next word is industrious. Industrious means to be hardworking and diligent. A good example sentence would be, it pays to be industrious. It pays to be hardworking. So repeat after me. Industrious, industrious. And try to use industrious in a sentence of your own. Now, can you think of the opposite of industrious or an antonym for industrious? That would be lazy. Let's hope none of us are lazy. Alrighty, let's move on. Our next word would be prototype. Now, a prototype is the original model of something. So an example sentence would be, when will the prototype of the new airplane be finished? So when will the first design, when will the first model be finished? So repeat after me. Prototype, prototype. Now try to use prototype in a sentence. Go ahead. And our last word is foresee. Now foresee is a verb meaning to predict. You'll often hear fortune tellers say, I foresee a great fortune in your future, meaning that they're predicting you win the lottery, or they're predicting great prosperity for you in the future. So repeat after me. Foresee, foresee. Now try to use foresee in the sentence of your own. Okay, great. Well, that's everything for this lesson. See the attached handout for further review, and happy practicing.